gonna be 2025. 2024, you were broke, you were ugly, you were dusty, you were desperate. Hello, and welcome back to another episode of leahlations. Today we will be talking about how to set goals and actually follow through with them. This topic was requested by one of my followers on TikTok, and I figured this is the perfect time to talk about it since the new year is right around the corner. You know what time it is. It's New Year's resolution time, and you're not going to spend the same year doing the same old things where you set those goals and you don't follow through with absolutely anything. Like, you may give it a good shot all January, and then by February the goals are nowhere to be found. We're not repeating those same mistakes this year, okay? So today I'm going to be walking you through how to set goals and how to actually follow through with those goals and remain flexible despite what life throws at you. Let's be real for a second, okay? It's New Year's resolution season. You've been on the couch all year long. You want to set the goal of going to the gym 5 days a week after you done sat on your ass every day this whole year. That's not going to happen, Captain. Okay? It's not going to happen like that. You need to slowly wean yourself into the process. I feel like the main reason that people don't follow through with their New Year's resolutions and those goals for the new year is because they make the goals too lofty. They make them too big. You have to start small and then slowly increase. You can't just jump right in. First, you got to jump in the pool with your floaties on, learn how to paddle, learn how to float, and then you could take them off and actually start swimming. Don't set yourself up for failure by making these lofty ass goals. We're going to be discussing how to create goals, how to create meaningful goals, how to figure out what a meaningful goal is to you. We're going to be discussing accountability systems, and we're going to be breaking down how to achieve whatever specific goals that you may have. And we're also going to be discussing how to overcome obstacles and stay consistent. It's going to be 2025. 2024, you were broke, you were ugly, you were dusty, you were desperate. 2025, you think of yourself, you're thinking of the new version of you, like, yeah, I'm finna be having shit, I'm finna be fine, I'm finna be doing my biggest one, I'm finna be traveling, I'm finna be happier, I'm leaving that relationship, I'm leaving that job, I'm taking a chance on myself. You could become that person. You can become the higher version of yourself. You can become who you envision yourself to be. But in order to become that, you have to have a plan in place. You have to know how you're gonna get there. You can't just have the destination. You gotta know what route to take. When you know you wanna go get something to eat and you know what you craving, what do? You search it on Google, you find one of the restaurants, and you put the restaurant in the maps and you see what route it is to get there. You have to have the route, and that's what goals are. Setting goals and creating a plan is the route to get you to your desires. There's many different types of routes. You could take the easy tag lane. You could take the fast route. I don't know if y'all got easy tag, but in Texas we got easy tag. You could take the scenic route. You could take the route with a whole lot of traffic, aka resistance. There are so many different routes and paths that you could take in order to get to your desires and attain your desires. But today we're going to be focusing on the most efficient route to get you what you want. There's never going to be a time in life where you're completely satisfied. You're always going to want to go bigger. You're always going to want more. You're always going to want to push the envelope. It's just in our human nature to desire things. Don't shy away from that. So now, with knowing that and accepting that about yourself, you can actually give yourself the time and the space and the opportunity to craft a real plan that helps you reach your goals. Clear goals give you life direction, purpose, and motivation. Everything that you're doing should be done with intention for a specific purpose. Having goals and knowing what you're moving towards steers your life direction. Having a plan in place helps you to feel in control. It helps you to take control over your life. It helps you to be the captain of your own ship. So it's super, super important on your self-improvement journey, on your self-mastery journey, on your journey to becoming your higher self, your best self, that you have these goals, that you know what route you're taking, that you choose a route that is the most efficient for you to reach your desires and to reach these goals. So without further further ado, let's get into the steps that you will need to take to set your goals and be able to follow through with them this coming year. First things first, before you actually create these goals, you have to do some self-reflection, okay? So get a pen and a paper, sit down and do some self-reflection. I can't stress this enough. All you need is a pen or a pencil and a piece of paper. Think to yourself, how did this year go for me? How was 2024 for me? Was I satisfied? What could I have done better? What areas do I want to grow in? What mistakes did I make this year? What mistakes do I not want to repeat next year? What experiences do I want to have next year that I didn't have this year? Ask yourself what worked and what didn't. Take stock on everything in your life, your relationships, your friendships, your habits, all of it. You need to take stock of everything. Write down what you spent most of your time doing. Did you spend most of your time lollygagging around and bullshitting? You probably did, and that's a problem. You need to write it all down and get clear and do some self-reflections, because you have to be clear on what it is that you do want, what it is that you don't want, what it is that you've done, what it is that you want to change, so you don't repeat the same mistakes and end up stuck in these same cycles of where you're just doing the same shit over and over and over and over and over again. Life is about growth. So you want to make sure that you're doing whatever you can to grow. You don't want to stay stuck and stagnant. That's how people end up depressed, and that's how people end up hating themselves, because they're not growing in any form or fashion. You need to be in a growth mindset. Doing self-reflection, being introspective, getting to know yourself, self-mastery, this is how you grow. This is how you stay and get into a growth mindset. I mentioned this already, but I want to reiterate it. You need to audit your habits. Your habits are what is creating your life. You are only as good as your habits. So you need to make sure that you're auditing your habits and you're figuring out, okay, what is it that I'm doing every day? What is it that I'm spending my time doing weekly? What is my habit of thinking? What are my thinking patterns? What thoughts do I have every day? What thoughts do I have every other day, every week, that constantly come into my mind? You need to write down these things and get clear on what your habits are. For me personally, 2 habits that really helped me in 2024 and just in life in general. 1, it's so simple, making my bed every day. Making my bed every day. It's something about making your bed every day. Like, even if the day completely goes to shit, you come home and that bed is made up and that room is clean, and it's like, okay, I started the day off with a win, and I'm technically ending the day off with a win, because when I come home and I see that all of that is clean and my bed is made, it's like, at least this is in order. You know what I'm saying? Another habit that really helped me in 2024, not using my phone, specifically social media, within the first hour of waking up. I promise you, if you could start with not using social media or your phone within the first hour of waking up, and do it within the last hour before going to bed, I'm telling you, your mind will be so much more clear. You won't have so much noise in your head. When I tell you, whenever I watch TikTok or something right before bed, or whenever I watch TikTok right when I get up or get on social media, it's like my brain automatically starts playing TikTok sounds in my head. And it's like, whose brain is this? I want my damn brain back, okay? So it'll really help you, and it's really helped me when I don't get on social media right before bed or right after I wake up. My mind is just way more clear. It's way more zen. I'm not hearing TikTok sounds in my head and trending sounds and songs and all these things in my head as soon as I open my damn eyes. Step 2, creating meaningful goals. When it comes to creating meaningful goals, the first thing that you have to do is focus on the why. Why do I want to attain this? Why do I want to become this way? Why do I want to adopt this habit? Why do I want to experience this? Understand what the root is of every single goal that you have. Know what your why is. You have to be clear on what your why is. When you're clear on what your why is, it helps you to stay flexible, it helps you to stay motivated, and it helps you to know that that you're doing what you're doing with purpose and with intention. So you need to get specific with your goals. Get as specific as possible. If you set a general goal, it's going to be kind of hard to craft that route. It's going to be hard to create that plan. Instead of setting the goal, I want to lose weight, set the goal of I want to feel healthy and strong. Because if you set the goal of I want to feel healthy and strong, then that's going to tie into your diet. That's going to tie into exercise, your movement. That's going to tie into your mindset. That's going to tie into your habits, what you're doing in your day-to-day, because everything, you're going to have to change everything around to make sure that you're feeling strong and you're feeling healthy. And it's all about the feelings first. Remember, I always tell you guys, it comes from internally first. Like, yes, you have to do the actions, but the basis should be your feelings, how you feel, like the things that you can adopt within your self-concept. It's going to help you to craft a lifestyle that supports the movement towards your goals. The next thing I want to say is, I've spoke on this before, but you need to craft SMART goals. SMART is an acronym that stands for specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. An example of a SMART goal is I want to save $5,000 for vacation by August 2025. That is a SMART goal. It's time bound by August 2025. It's specific. You know the dollar amount that you want to save and you know what you're saving it for. It's measurable. Because it's a dollar amount, you can measure and look at your savings account or wherever you're putting the money and see how far along you are in the process. It's achievable depending on whatever your financial circumstances are. Obviously, this is just an example and it'll be specific to you, but let's just say that's achievable. And it's relevant because one of your desires for the year 2025 may be to travel more. So that's relevant to your overall desires, to your overall goals for the year. Use that acronym and create SMART goals. I also want you guys to be able to differentiate between outcome goals and process goals, okay? Some goals are just the outcome. That's just the desire, period. Like, for example, run a marathon. That's the outcome goal. I want to run a marathon. Now, the process goal deals with the actions that it's going to take to get there. So if the outcome goal is I want to run a marathon, then the process goal needs to be I want to run for 30 minutes 3 times a week, because you're building up your stamina, you're building up your tolerance, you're building up your body and your mind to be able to run that marathon. Do you get what I'm saying? So know the difference between process goals and outcome goals. One has more so to do with the route and the other has more so to do with the destination. Step 3, break your goals down. Break those big goals down into smaller, more actionable steps. Same thing I just said about outcome and process goals. The big goals, the main event, that's the outcome goal. The process goals have to do with those smaller actionable steps. So you're going to write down one goal and then you're going to put a little dash with a little indentation, the smaller steps, those process goals that you're going to hit and that you're going to do to get to that outcome goal, to get to your destination. And also, time management plays into this. Make these actionable steps, make these process goals habits, make them routines. For example, running the marathon. I need to run 3 times a week for 30 minutes. Step 4, you have to have an accountability system, okay? You have to be able to hold yourself accountable or have others hold you accountable. You need an accountability partner. You need an accountability group. You need something that's holding your feet to the fire and making sure that you get shit done. Because a lot of the times, if you leave it up to you, you're going to start procrastinating, you're going to start slacking, and then you're going to look up and it's going to be 2026 and you still ain't get shit done. You still in the same spot you was in when 2025 came around. You still in the same spot you was in beginning of 2024. Same spot as 2023. Same spot as 2022. Same spot as 2021. Same spot since you was 5 years old. No, I'm just playing. You need to find you an accountability partner. If you don't have a friend that's on the same frequency as you, also trying to turn themselves up, also trying to take themselves serious, and also trying to master themselves, then you could join KISS. KISS is my Patreon community. Within my Patreon community, all of the community members hold each other accountable, root for each other, cheer for each other, help each other, assist each other in any way that we possibly can. That's what I created KISS for. I created KISS for that community aspect more than anything else. So if you don't have anyone in your personal life that can hold you accountable, then join KISS. And the link to join is always in the description box of all of my videos, so go in the description box and look into that. But one method that I use sometimes is whenever I have a new goal, depending on what the goal is, I will tell people, like I will make a public announcement that I'm doing it. And the more people I tell, the more I feel compelled to actually get it done, because I pride myself on doing everything that I say I'm going to do. So once I tell people that I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it. Whether I change my mind in the process or not, I'm still gonna do it just to do it, because I already said that I was gonna do it. So that may work for you. That works for me. I know some people are very apprehensive with that method, because a lot of people believe, you know, evil eye can stop them and monitoring spirits and you shouldn't tell nobody and da 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 da. I understand that to a certain extent, but if it's for me, can't nobody stop what's for me. No weapon formed against me shall prosper. I don't give a fuck who know. Like, you know what I'm saying? So that's just how I move. You could use that method. That may work for you, but that's just another little tip to be able to hold yourself accountable. Another thing that's going to help you hold yourself accountable is tracking your progress. Have a journal or have an app that tracks your habits, that tracks your progress. Whatever it is, whatever method works best for you, have something to where you can see how much work you put in, to where you can see how much progress you've made, to where you can see, okay, I've done this, I've done that, I'm doing good, like I'm on track, I'm doing what I gotta do. Have something like that. Me personally, I do like the app Habit Rabbit. I also do my weekly and daily schedule in my reminders app, and I also have like my morning routines and my night routines in there as well, and different things within my reminders app. I do want to do a whole separate video walking you guys through how I use the reminders app, because I literally cannot live without it. Like I check that app more than anything else on my phone. Like that is my bread and butter. I have to have my reminders app. I need to know what needs to get done today, what's on the agenda for this week. This is my morning routine, this is my night routine. You could do your grocery lists on there. You could do the list for, you know, what you got to get done for your business. Literally everything. Write down what assignments you have to do and everything. Like, I kid you not, that might be the best app that Apple has ever created. It's really, really good once you actually learn how to use it. But I'm telling you, you need to be celebrating your small wins and your big wins as well. Celebrate your successes, celebrate your milestones. If the goal for you was to run a marathon and you run that marathon, go out and buy yourself something nice, you know, treat yourself. Make sure that you're living good, you know. Do something nice for yourself. Celebrate your wins. It could be in any way. You could do it in a small way. You could do it in a bigger way. You need to be able to reward yourself. For step 5, you need to be able to overcome obstacles and stay consistent. In order to do that, you need to be able to anticipate challenges. This is where being strategic comes into play. This is something that I personally could have did better on. You guys know I did Vlogmas or whatever. I attempted to do Vlogmas, okay? Not doing it again because I just realized that I'm a little too private for it. I don't like feeling overexposed. But for example, doing Vlogmas, I didn't anticipate me breaking my camera, because I didn't anticipate how I was going to feel during my luteal phase, during my PMS phase, which put me in like a mood of not wanting to record or film anything. Had I anticipated those challenges, I would have had footage in the bank to be able to edit and still put out while I was getting the camera fixed. while I was going through my luteal phase, while I was making it through my PMS phase. So that way, when the time was over, I could hit the ground, run it again, and create more and put out more and still stay on schedule. That's just an example. But you need to be able to anticipate the challenges that will come along with your goals, because it's not going to be an obstacle-free journey. It's not going to be a challenge-free journey. Life is going to throw shit at you. You have to be resilient. You have to be flexible. You have to be adaptable. You have to be strategic. I want you to focus on cultivating discipline versus focusing on motivation. Motivation is like the moon. It waxes and it wanes, okay? Sometimes you're going to feel very, very, very motivated, and sometimes you are not going to feel motivated at all. It doesn't stay consistent. So you need to focus on cultivating discipline. Even if life throws something at you that kind of knocks you off your path, pivot, get back on your path, adjust the goal, adjust the timeline. You have the free will to do so. Just because you wrote it down a certain way doesn't mean that it has to happen that exact way and in that exact timeline, okay? That's just the guide. But you know, when you're driving, when you're on a road trip, there could be some things along the journey that you didn't anticipate, and you have to adjust, you have to pivot, you have to stay flexible. I want to briefly discuss some practical examples and some visualizations to help you craft your goals. For example, for health, you could commit to moving for 20 minutes per day. I know the biggest thing right now is taking 10,000 steps per day. I feel like, I don't want to say it's unrealistic, but if you not taking no steps at all, you taking 200 steps a day, and then you want to jump to 10,000, you're probably not going to have the easiest time seeing that through and actually making that happen and staying consistent with it. So start small. You could say, I want to commit to 30 minutes of movement daily. I want to go to a yoga class 3 times a week. I want to go on a walk at the park every morning. That's still you doing something. That's doing something that contributes to you feeling healthy. For career, one of your goals can be building a business, building a side hustle that later turns into your main source of income. If you are in a career right now or working a job right now that you are not satisfied with, that you do not really feel fulfilled in, then you need to start building something on your own that actually fulfills you and that actually sustains you. For personal growth, I want you guys to be very big brained, okay? I want you guys to increase your intellect. I want you guys to become more knowledgeable. There's so much information out here. We pretty much live in information overload. Learn how to decipher what is real and what is fake. You definitely need to learn how to do that more now than ever, especially with AI becoming such a big thing. AI is not going to slow down anytime soon, so you need to be able to decipher what is real and generated from a human being versus what is AI generated. One of your personal goals could be to read 12 books in a year. Hell, if you haven't picked up a book since high school or middle school or elementary school, maybe you need to start with 2. I don't know. It depends on you personally. You could start with audiobooks even. Whatever it is, you need to be doing something personally that enriches your mind, that enriches your spirit, that grows your intellect. Don't stay limited. Even if you're in the same place that you started physically, you don't have to stay in the same place mentally. Expand your palette for life. Go out and try new foods. Read new books. Read genres that you don't normally read. Get into your imagination. Don't just be watching TV all fucking day. Write a short story. Do a damn crossword puzzle. Play Scrabble. Know how to speak to people. Go out and throw yourself in social situations and learn how to have social etiquette. Learn how to operate amongst other people. These are all skills and things that we need to have moving forward as a collective. Alright, you guys, we are coming to the end of today's video. I want you guys to remember that progress is way more important than perfection. And also remember that small, consistent actions lead to big results. It's your habits that will create your life. So focus on creating good habits and you will live a good life. Feel free to share your top goal in the comments. Feel free to hold each other accountable in the comments. Feel free to encourage each other in the comments. Don't forget, if you need an accountability partner, if you need someone or a group of people to hold you accountable, join KISS. This is me extending the invitation to you. You will have access to me. You will have access to all of the like-minded individuals who are within the KISS community, and together we will hold each other accountable and make sure that we are becoming the best version of ourselves. As always, it's been a pleasure speaking to you, and I cannot wait to talk to you guys in the next episode of Leahlations. Bye.